Hey everyone, I know I've been a little quiet on here after not long ago saying I'm going to release 2 videos every week. And that was and still is my intention. However, the fires here in central Portugal have been really intense, really big. Have been going on for quite a long time now, and I've been rather distracted with that and other things. Um, so here I am though, because I thought I would share what we can learn from things like this, because even in the midst of devastation and loss and grief and sadness, for instance, with these things, for all the lives of animals and people and homes and nature that has been lost here in the last couple of weeks. I think it's important, to remember also what is happening that is good in those times. And there's been, the community come together, and people care about each other, and people try to help each other. And I think it's important to remember these things, that in the midst of chaos and pain, whatever that pain is, it could be pain, something very local to you, pain of the world, pain of a life in general, that there is things that should really touch us in some way, I think. Or not that they should touch us, but they do touch us in some way, and we don't mention so much about that. So, and I think this, translates into when you have chronic illnesses and other things like personal issues going on and stuff as well, is, what have we learned from this? How have we grown from this? How have we come together from this? And I see with things like the fires, like I say, that community comes together, people help each other out, people support each other in many ways, seen and unseen, and people grieve together for the nature of the world, and things like that. And I think that's a really big. It's really important, that side of things. And it's the same with chronic illness. It is horrendous. It does go on for too long, and it's too painful, mentally, physically, spiritually, and it's there's nothing nice about it when it's happening, pretty much. But we do learn from it, and we do grow from it, and we do connect again. And I think that's really important, is this connection. Is, when it's chronic illness, it's quite often connecting back to our body, to our nervous system, to our community, to nature, to more natural ways of living and being in nature. And when it's something bigger like the fires, it's connecting to community and connecting to each other, and again to nature. And this these things, I feel a lot of the time, are that they come because we are so disconnected. We're so discombobulated as well. But no, we're so disconnected from ourselves, from our nervous systems, from our bodies, from the planet, from our food, from our air, from each other, from our communities. And I saw that, in the whole craziness 5 years ago, that there was so many connections that came from, all the lockdowns and all the craziness back then. People were starting to exercise again. They were starting to go out into nature more. They were starting to you know, change their diets and look after themselves more, and coming together again as communities as and when they were allowed. So I often think it's so easy for us to become overwhelmed by all of the hard the hard in each day and the hard in the stuff happening around us, but it does allow us to grow in some way, and it does allow us to change and, you know, focus on what's really important, focus on what's really important in life, and often to let go of the rest, which is not important and usually a distraction and a disconnection, disassociation, and all those disses from life. So, yeah, I don't know if that resonates with any of you, but it feels, there's a lot of feelings going on at the moment with these big fires here in these big forest fires in central Portugal, and I think things that are going on in our lives on a smaller scale, on a larger scale, and then on other parts of the world and stuff, there there's so many similarities, isn't there? And we always think we're alone, when actually, in fact, most of the time we're not. And there are so many people going through so many similar things, and feeling the same things and learning the same things when they come out of the other side of it as well. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I hope you're all well. If you have any questions at all, feel free to pop them below, and I will speak to you all soon. Ciao for now.